house in Baltimore, and we'll get up on the music side of things. I am delighted to have this young man on. I watched the end part of American Idol, and now American Idol's coming to Baltimore to the Modell Lyric on August the 12th. Caleb Lee Hutchinson is here. Caleb, I got to tell you what, man, I got a lot of people out there on social media. When they found out you were coming on, it was like, forget all these sports guys. We want to talk to the young guy strumming the guitar, doing the Johnny Cash stuff. So first off, welcome and congratulations on all your success, my man.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, a humble kid from Georgia about to go on a nationwide and worldwide tour here. I know you were doing a lot of things through American Idol. This is the real test, right, to get out and do this thing on the road. You've dreamed about this your whole life.
Yes, sir. I mean, I've spent my whole life playing music and hoping that I'd ever get a chance to do something like this, so it's really incredible.
Well, I guess going back on all this, how long has this thing been going on? When's the first day that you walked into American Idol? Because I know you had a little background with The Voice, so you were sort of JV'd into this thing. I mean, I'm sure the second time around it was a lot different for you, but this has been kind of whirlwindy, right?
Oh, it's been so different than anything else I've ever done in my life, and I mean, it kind of happened so quick, you know. It was a good, 6 months that everything went down, and it really has changed my whole life.
Well, I think you've got so many angles in this thing for, I think, the general population that hasn't even seen American Idol, from your relationship with Maddie. But I think the thing that I saw in People magazine a couple months ago about the weight loss part, and I think it is striking to go back and see what you used to look like, what you look like now. I'm a guy that dropped 30, 40 pounds back in 2006 myself, and have a great appreciation for that. And I know that's been part of your journey as well. But, boy, you have been multitasking so many things here, as well as the love interest, the weight, but the competition part of this. Tell me a little bit about your regimen to make yourself a little more slender.
You know, it's been a journey, and I lost most of my weight before anyone ever saw me on American Idol. It all just kind of started off with me just making small changes, and it really just started to add up. You know, I cut out drinking soft drinks and whatnot, and then started just doing a little bit of exercise, and it kind of took off from there.
Johnny Cash Heart, tell me about that song, and obviously over the last couple months and summertime, I'm an original Johnny Cash guy, right? So going back with Folsom Prison and Ring of Fire, my mom used to play those records back in the 70s. My mom loved Johnny Cash. Some thoughts for you about, having that be a part of the start of your career? You'll be playing that song the rest of your life, my man.
Yeah, no, that song, I love it so much. It's a lot of fun to sing, and a lot of people, really, really dig it. And I've already got a bunch of folks that have messaged me and reached out over social media and told me it's going to be in their wedding and all this. So it's really crazy. And Johnny Cash is kind of one of those people. He was probably, when I was 5 or 6, I would wear all black and tell people I was Johnny Cash. So I think he's kind of one of the main reasons that I wanted to do this at such an early age.
I think you dream about doing this, and then you get in there and do it. Look, we all see an hour or two a week, right? And I think we can see what you guys are going through. And I've been watching American Idol for a decade and a half. I mean, it's very, very obvious how this thing gets put together. But then you have to go and perform, and the lights go on. I mean, I've been doing radio for 30 years. There's something about the lights, camera, and the action that it isn't for everybody, right? I mean, it isn't just for dreamers. There's a part of this when you get out there that you've seen a lot of other people who may sing as well, may play the guitar, whatever, but maybe through this process didn't hold up as well as you did.
Yeah, I think you have to go into it knowing who you are and knowing what you want to do and sticking to that, win, lose, or draw.
Well, the hours are long, right? I mean, for that 5 or 6 minutes where you see you singing your song, there's 7.5 days that goes into prepping that every week, right?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot more work that goes into it than I ever realized. For sure.
In an intricate way, what does that mean? There's a lot more work. Give me a couple of examples of things you never would have thought of 2 or 3 years ago that now become a daily part of your regimen that maybe you had to be in it to even understand it.
Yeah, I think, going back, watching it as an audience member, you kind of think that these people just pick a song and then they sing it and it's not too hard. But you really have to consider, how you're going to sing a song, the stage, what you're going to wear, how you're going to deliver it, connecting with folks back home, your song choice. I mean, everything you have to kind of consider.
What part of that came natural for you when you got involved because you've been watching it for so long? I mean, you're not a stranger to it. You sit home and you dream about doing it. You're familiar with what it's going to look like. But then there's the backstage part of that where you're trying to pick a Prince song. You're trying to get the right song. And you're also getting coached. There's a lot of people in your ear during that period of time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people that give you their advice and whatnot, but it always falls back on what you want to do, and you're never forced to do anything. So it's a lot of personal responsibility as well.
growing up where you grew up, how much of it was country versus other influences? You feel so country to me, it feels like you're born to do it. But I think part of that is the environment you grew up in, where country music is, part of the background music of life in Georgia, I'm sure.
Yeah, I grew up, my daddy used to play basically all country and southern rock, and I had, my mom got me into like R&B and 80s hair band rock and stuff, and I mean, I've gone every which way. Like, there's not really a genre of music I don't listen to.
Yeah, it's funny you call it 80s hair rock, because we called it that in the 80s, by the way, Caleb. Caleb Lee Hutchinson is here. He is our guest. American Idol on tour all summer long. They're going to be stopping down at the Modell Lyric. You know about our partnership with the Modell Lyric. Advise everyone to get down there and see all the bands this year. Steely Dan as well as Kansas playing. But Caleb Lee Hutchinson's going to be on stage. And look, this is the part. I've given you a nice 6 minutes here without talking about your love life, because I do have respect for all of that. But we got to talk about Maddie a little bit, because the first thing people say is, Caleb's coming on, is Maddie coming on too? And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. But, for this journey and for what you've been through, and all I have to do is put Nothing Compares to You on, and I think you would even understand that she may have looked like a winner at that point. But your relationship and your friendship and coming through this whole thing, and you're obviously young people, this is all very bright light, isn't it? Especially in the era of social media. I can't imagine being a man of your age, having a love interest in worldwide television, and then having Twitter behind it all, where everyone's interested in that. That's not normal for a guy of your age, right?
It's very interesting having a relationship out in the public and having everybody have something to say about it. But it just kind of is what it is. We understood that was going to come with it, I think.
How often you guys sing together? Is that becoming a part of what you're trying to do now for the tour? And you got any surprises for us coming up August 12th, Caleb?
I mean, me and Maddie have always kind of sang together since we met, because we heard each other sing, and we actually met because we did a group round together, and so we sang together with that. It just didn't air. But yeah, I absolutely know that me and her are going to work together later on in our careers, and you might just see something on the American Idol Live tour. I
don't know a whole lot about country. I'm more like you and I could sit here and go Southern rock for a little while. By the way, you must have had a good dad if he turned you on to some Southern rock down there. But, I would say that, you got a hell of a career ahead of you, man. I mean, we're watching it all and watching it all unfold. I know a lot of folks that I've thrown out on social media are so excited you guys are coming to Baltimore and getting out on the road, doing this every single night. It's really fun to watch all this happen. And I guess for Katie and Lionel, Luke, to voted you guys through and made all this happen for you. I certainly hope that 5-10 years from now, you're packing the Royal Farms Arena and doing bigger things as you guys come back through. But it's been a pleasure spending a little bit of time with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Caleb Lee Hutchinson joining us here. He and Maddie and all the American Idols coming to Baltimore to the Modell Lyric. That'll happen on August the 12th. You can get all the information, all the tickets at modelllyric.com. And, of course, you can follow Caleb Lee Hutchinson anywhere Twitter takes you out on social media, as well as the AmericanIdol.com website. You can find me anywhere that the internet is served. That's the buyatoyota.com audio of all 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world. You carry it with you. Mobily, download podcasts, listen when you want, where you want, how you want. A little bit of music. We got some sports, certainly Ravens season coming down the pike, and the Orioles now playing out the string, as they say. Nasty at WNST.net finds me. We're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, streaming live on our Facebook, as well as our YouTube, WNS TV channel. We are WNST.net, AM 1570 and WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.